I saw that Crowbcat video about the details in Back 4 Blood and comparing them to Left 4 Dead. I enjoy Back 4 Blood, and I enjoy Left 4 Dead, and it was interesting to watch because I feel like some parts of that video were a bit strange, and I wanted to kind of quickly talk about it. This is just my opinion, and I could be completely wrong. This is just me hedging my bets. But what I want to talk about was, I don't like how they advertise the game. I think advertising the game as from the creators of Left 4 Dead is definitely a bit dishonest and should not have been done. He showed a compilation of bugs, which obviously are bad. Bugs should be fixed. Everybody wants a less buggy game. The biggest thing about the video seemed to be the message about the details in the game. And yeah, it's nice to have details. It would be awesome if Back 4 Blood had these details. But the lack of these details don't necessarily make a game worse, do they? But I also think that this is highly dependent on what the individual values. For example, some people see Halo Infinite's lack of the cosmetic detail from Halo 3 and Halo Reach as a bad thing, but does that really make Halo Infinite's gameplay worse? Does Halo Infinite's gameplay become better if it has that cosmetic detail? That could easily depend on the individual. But currently, Halo Infinite lacks lots of detail and people still enjoy playing it. Although the video seems to be mostly talking about detail, it starts flirting with gameplay mechanics around the 15-minute mark. The first thing they sort of toss in here is Back 4 Blood bosses don't hit cars, and that there's a storm circle that shrinks to force you to fight the boss, and I'm not too sure why this was highlighted. I think it was to show off that it wasn't like the tank in Left 4 Dead, which is strange to me because it's a different game. These are neat features to have in Left 4 Dead because they work for Left 4 Dead, but are these necessary to have in every zombie 4-player co-op shooter? I don't think so. I think it's a cool feature, but not required. It just seems like a different way of designing these bosses. Not good or bad, just different. One of the bigger things that bothered me was this part in the video that showed Valve wanted to justify Left 4 Dead 2's existence with new features. The video seems to imply modding was one of these features. It seemed like mod tools were released for both Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2. So I'm not even sure if this is a point towards Left 4 Dead 2. So unless I'm missing something, it seems like the video didn't intend for that to be a feature attributed to Left 4 Dead 2. So with that in mind, the real point of those clips were to say that Back 4 Blood doesn't move the Left 4 Dead formula forward, which would be a valid point if Back 4 Blood was trying to be a Left 4 Dead game. The only similarities I could really find between Back 4 Blood and Left 4 Dead, aside from the names, were that they're 4-player co-op shooters that shared a couple traits like the car alarms or whatever. This seems like the wrong way of looking at it, doesn't it? I think anybody who's a fan of Left 4 Dead and is being charitable to Back 4 Blood can realize that Back 4 Blood takes a surface level Left 4 Dead game, but most of its identity comes from action RPG games like Diablo 3, the Torchlight series, and even Minecraft Dungeons for a more accessible example. And that's pretty much where the video ends. I don't know, like I took some issues with some of the things in that video, and I think Crowbcat does a good job lots of the times, because if the point was just the details weren't there, that's a fine point, but he also highlighted some strange gameplay things that don't necessarily make Back 4 Blood a worse game than Left 4 Dead, unless you thought Back 4 Blood was supposed to be a Left 4 Dead game. I know their language seemed to imply this to be the case, but again, if you played it and you were being charitable to it, you'd know that it's not trying to be Left 4 Dead, it's trying to be something else. But regardless, even if everything I said wasn't true, and everything in the video is true, or, you know, the reverse, it doesn't matter because I think the Crowbcat fan base isn't one to make their own decisions, you know? They sort of take what the video says and assume that must be the correct opinion. I can easily see that Steam rating dropping to a mostly negative, when I don't think it's deserved. Like, I'm looking at the top review of the game right now on Steam. It has 1.1 hours on it, and all it does is link the video to Crowbcat. That's it. It's not even this guy's opinion. He's just linking a video. I don't know, that's strange to me. Weird that you just link a video and say this is why it's bad, and it just talks about some details. Details that a lot of people probably don't care about, you know? I think anybody that's being charitable to Back 4 Blood can look at this game and see that it doesn't deserve the hate that's probably going to get. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Whatever. If you listened this far, thank you so much.